Our Coach of the Week, sponsored by Exquisite Irrigations and Lawns, goes to none other than Mr. Jake Kaler of the Tornadoes. Jake coaches a bunch of 4-year-olds, and that surely is his calling in life. When I watched him gather his group around and wait for pictures last week, I saw Jake tell them a story that was so engaging that you could hear a pin drop while waiting for pictures to take. Not only is he a great storyteller, but he's also a great coach. He brings the energy. He tells those kids what to do. He is so encouraging, talks on their level, interacts with them in a way that makes sense to them and is fun. And every kid that has ever played for Jake always wants to come back and play again because they have fun. So, Jake, great job. We are so thankful to have you as a coach at the LC Sports and Rec. You are this week Coach of the Week, sponsored by Exquisite Irrigations and Lawns. Our Player of the Week, sponsored by Innovative Insight Solutions, is Miss Auden Fulton of the 1st and 2nd grade girl Fireballs. Coach Krista said this about Auden. Said Auden is always listening and works so hard. She's a great teammate and honors her teammates by playing her best all the time. Coach Krista said she's never seen this kid slack off. Auden, way to go. Way to honor the game by always playing hard all of the time. You are this week's Player of the Week, sponsored by Innovative Insight Solutions. All right, welcome to episode 64 of Winning with the Home Team. I'm Katrina.
I'm Todd.
And today we have a very special guest. She is a friend of ours. Her heart is way bigger than anything I could ever imagine, and her experiences too. So today we have Miss Loretta.
Hi, how are y'all?
Good.
We're good. How are you?
Good.
So Todd, tell us a little bit about Miss Loretta, or have Miss Loretta.
Yeah. Before I let you speak, because I know how modest you are, you're not gonna tell the truth about how great you are. So, no, I mean, you've been such an impactful piece at our church and on kids in general.
Yeah.
For so long, and you're about to tell us, all the things that you've done. But just so you guys at home are aware. She doesn't just do these things. She's exceptional at everything that she's about to say she's done. So with that, why don't you tell us a little bit about your history and your background?
Okay. I grew up in Jacksboro, Texas,
Which
is
is in
a
the hill
little
country,
bitty
right?
town.
Is it in the hill country?
It's west of here.
West of
Yes,
here. Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I went to college and I wanted to be a teacher. I really
jump.
did want to be a teacher no matter what.
Yeah.
And so I taught for 14 years and then I was a principal for 14 years.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I done a lot of things
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
So which is harder, teaching or principal?
I think being a principal, because you have to, it's more verbal, where a
Right.
teacher is more doing.
Right.
And you have to come up with ideas. And I love the days that I got to have the teachers at my building.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
but they didn't like it.
Coming to the principal's office.
Yeah.
So how did you, because you've also been a staple here at Lake Church for a long time. When did you start at Lake Church?
2007.
Okay.
And I always knew that I wanted to be a children's pastor.
Really?
I always knew that,
Yeah.
even as a little girl.
Wow.
But in my day, you had to have a man
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
because I
Yeah.
needed
Right.
a man to
Right.
be a pastor or
Right.
children's minister or education minister.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay.
It
God,
wasn't really
I'm
on the table for you.
Yeah.
No,
back
it
then.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
on the table.
Yeah.
And then when that door opened up, I said, I'm going to walk through it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm going to
Yeah.
walk through
Yeah.
it.
So
Was
go ahead.
was there time from when you retired from principaling to entering into the kids pastor?
No, I retired from principaling and I became a children's pastor.
Did you know before you retired that that was an option?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
I did.
okay.
Because they kept calling my school and asking me, then I want to be the education, the children's pastor here at the church.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've never asked you this though. So did you retire to be a kids pastor?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Did not know that. Yeah.
What
that
made
makes
that-
it even more special.
What made that decision for you? Like, how did you come about that?
When it opened up here at the church, I knew that I wanted to be a children's pastor. And I'd been asked to go a long ways away and whatever, but I'm right here. And I knew my mother lived with me, and so I wanted to be here.
Yeah.
And so that's why,
So walk us through what that looked like when you became children's pastor here. What all did that entail? What did you do?
Gosh, I did everything.
Yeah.
I did beach club, which was after school.
Yeah.
I planned all the curriculum in the Sunday school. I had some people who worked with me, but I was over Kids Rock and over children.
Right.
And so I did a lot of stuff here.
Okay.
So.
And she was, what, 10 at the time?
She
I was 10.
So,
Yep. I was 10. Yeah. I was under her ministry as a 10-year-old.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I remember it. And you did kids camp and VBS and all of those things. Out of all the things that you did here as a children's pastor, do you have a favorite?
Probably kids camp.
Yeah.
I loved kids camp. And when I came to the church, I came on Sunday, and on Monday we left for kids camp.
Yeah.
Baptism by fire.
Yeah. Baptism by fire.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. So you really never hit a retirement at all. You went straight from 14 years as a teacher and then 14 years as a principal. So 28 years and then moved into this role.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
That's
for
really
sure.
crazy.
And how long were you the kids pastor?
9 years.
Yeah. And you worked with Miss Karen,
I did work
who
with
was our
Miss Karen.
preschool pastor,
And I worked with Laura Brunk.
and Laura Brunk. Yep. Yeah. So you had some quality people
Oh
around
my
you
gosh, they
all
were
the
the
time.
best.
Yeah.
They were the best.
Yep. That's for
So
sure.
are you still interacting with kids today?
Yes,
And
I
what-
teach second grade Sunday school.
Okay.
And they're quite a handful,
Yeah.
and they're wonderful, but I love them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I work, when Miss Katrina asked me, I work at the LC in
Yeah.
basketball season,
Yeah.
and I'm going to
Yeah.
work concession stands
Yeah.
at soccer season and whatever.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
If you guys don't know Miss Loretta, what draws you to her and why I continue to ask her to come and to be a part of basketball season or soccer season, is just her infectious personality,
No
her
doubt.
joy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a question of whether or not I want her to come. Is she able? Please come. Because when you enter the front doors of the LC during basketball season, she's the first person that you hear,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
always a warm welcome.
Right.
And she lines up those kids, and
Yep.
Miss Loretta, it was it probably was about 7 or 8 years ago when you coached a second grade little basketball team, and you did that with Philly. And man, you want to talk about competitive, Todd. You want to talk about competitive.
Do you know this about yourself?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
I know
okay.
I'm competitive.
Yeah.
And at that time we didn't keep score, but I had somebody over there
Yeah.
keeping
Yeah.
score.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to tell you a story. And it's a really good story about when I coach. There was one boy on our team that his parents were hugely sports minded. But he wasn't.
Yeah.
And we prayed for that kid to make a basket.
Yeah.
And the last game, probably the last play, he made a basket.
Yeah.
And we were all cheering him
Yeah,
on.
that's awesome. I mean, it's a long season for a kid not to make a basket. Not for that kid, because if he wasn't a sports person, then he probably may have not even cared. But for his parents,
parents.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It
Yeah.
was a big deal
Yeah.
for them.
it was
Yeah.
It was a
good.
big deal.
Yep.
So you don't know this, but like you said, she calls you and has you come in and volunteer and do all this stuff. And I don't know, it's probably a couple months ago when you were at the front desk at the LC. immediately when you get there, the vibe changes.
Oh, immediately.
And
Like the atmosphere just clicks.
Somebody walked in and you greeted them, and I know we
Yeah.
looked at each other and just kind of smiled because you changed the
Yeah.
whole dynamic,
Yes.
and that is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So that leads me to my next question, which is, we deal with so many young kids in athletics. How do you take that just great personality that you have? How do you reach the families through those kids?
Well, by greeting those people when they come in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those people don't even know they just know their kid's name.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
don't even know
Right.
what
Yeah.
team they're on
Yeah.
or whatever, what court they have to go
Yeah.
to. And
Yeah.
we help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes a difference.
Yeah.
And Katrina knows this. I had one guy, he was an older man. He was a grandpa of
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah.
And he said to me when he was walking out, he said, all of these people have done a really good job, but you're the best.
That's it. And he called it. I mean, he wasn't wrong at all.
That's funny.
Like
I've
what,
never heard
what
that.
you do on a Saturday,
Yeah.
it sets the tone. And
It
when
does.
you greet someone,
Yes.
Sets the tone.
when a mom is coming in with 2 kids and it's 8:00
Yes.
in the morning,
Yeah.
she grabbed them out of bed, shoved a Pop-Tart in their face.
Kicking and screaming. Yeah.
And she's there and they don't know where their socks are and
Yeah.
they haven't gotten their shoes on,
Right.
But like when you greet them, like it's a disarming,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
it's a disarming, which I'm sure in police
And
work.
she does it to
Yeah.
me when I come in the door. Like, how
Yeah.
can you not smile back?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No,
So,
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But we try so hard. I don't know, maybe we try too hard to reach the families through the kids because we pour so much into these kids. But one of the things I love about how she runs her ministry is we spend a lot of time focused on the parents and bringing people through the door. I wish we could bottle your energy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
present that to
Yeah.
the parents.
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Well, the thing is that most of our kids, we know that the parents bring them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the grandparents come to watch them. So
Yeah.
we got to put our focus on where the people are that
Yeah.
really make the difference in the kids' lives.
Right.
And let me tell you something else that is really important is that a coach in a kid's life
Mm-hmm.
makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're preaching to the choir.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Right.
A coach can tell you to do jumping jacks and you
Yeah.
will do them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You will do them
Yeah,
because
sure.
it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
They-
sure that you've seen positive examples of that, and you've also seen negative examples of that. Yeah. Even here at the LC.
It's funny because I can tell my boys, hey, you need to look at the way that your stance is for this or that. And they'll like, "Pfft."
Yeah.
But if a coach tells them
Tells them
that,
oh, yeah.
totally
They do
different.
it.
Yeah,
They do it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the influence they
do
have.
it.
All right. Well, I'm Katrina, and I'm here with my friend Josh Thibodeau from the Coverage Crew.
Hey, that's right. And I'm proud to support the home team. I'm a local State Farm agent, and we call ourselves the Coverage Crew. You can find me online at thecoveragecrew.com.
You had a good question yesterday that you brought up.
Yeah.
Do
So,
you-
if I can remember it, no. How is? Well, let's go back. So, when you were a principal for 14 years, did you have any opportunities to share Jesus with either the teachers or the families?
I did. And I tried to hire people who were
Mm-hmm.
Christians because I thought it was that important.
Yeah.
But I would greet the kids every morning when they would come in the school. And there were times when I was even a teacher that maybe my principal would come over the loudspeaker and say, so-and-so needs our prayers because they got hurt or whatever. And a kid in my class would look at me and say, Miss Loretta, will you pray for us?
No.
That's a win.
And that
Yeah.
is
Slam
a
dunk.
win.
Yeah.
It is a win.
Yeah.
Does that still happen? Do you think that
Yes.
still happens today?
I think it does.
Yeah.
And I had it happen the backside to me because y'all may notice that I have a stopped up tear duct. And so I was telling my kids, my second graders, about this. And I had a kid who said, let's stop and pray for you, Miss
Wow.
Loretta.
Oh, love
And I went,
that.
whoa, yes,
Yeah.
let's do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes a difference.
That's
yeah.
awesome. So So when you were a principal for 14 years, and then you were a kids pastor for 7 years,
9 years.
9
yeah.
years.
Uh-huh.
What are some of the similarities between principaling and pastoring in regards to parents and families?
Well, I think that your job has to be to put those parents 1st and listen to them and let them know that you like them and let them know that you are supporting them or you have their back.
Yeah.
Because kids know that.
Yeah.
And it goes down to from the parents down to the kids.
Yeah.
And so people know that.
Yeah.
They know that you love them.
Yeah.
And you want to build a relationship
Yeah.
with them.
That's really good.
What makes
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah. That's good. Mm.
So we talked a little bit about how you affect kids in the classroom and even here at the church. Are there any just standout God stories that you have that you can remember from your career or from teaching Sunday school classes that come to mind?
Well, one of the things is that I taught my kids in 4th grade to introduce themselves. I taught them how to do that.
Okay.
And, this is my mother, Mrs. So-and-so, and this is Miss Ross, my teacher. And I had a kid that was in my class, and he introduced me to his mother. He said, "This is my mother." And he said, "This is Miss Ross." And she's a believer. Wow. I was like going, yes, that's where she is.
Do you remember
Yeah.
what the mom said? What was mom's response?
Mom's response was, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
good.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's good.
Huh.
So in dealing with, you have so much more vast experience in dealing with parents and kids. And as a believer, we try to teach our kids how to pray, right? And so when you have those little ones that show that, hey, like you said, Miss Loretta, let's pray about this. How do parents at home that are watching this, what advice do you give them on how to teach their kids how to pray?
Well, one of the things that I think is important is that parents need to take every opportunity to pray about that. When a kid is scared about something, stop and say, let's pray about that right now.
Yeah.
And they, that's the reason why I love that kid who said, "Can we pray
Right,
about that?"
right,
Yeah.
Because that makes a difference.
Right.
We taught about idols and bad kings and whatever, but I don't want the kids to think that an idol is a golden calf, because an idol can be a sport.
Yeah.
If we take that,
Yeah.
and use it.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
we need to take every opportunity
Yeah.
to pray for them
Right.
and let them know that don't just say, "I'm praying for you."
Right.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Do you ever get any pushback from parents on that?
I haven't ever.
Really?
I haven't ever.
That's great.
Has anybody ever pushed back on Miss Loretta? I
I would be
mean,
afraid
that's probably
to.
the better question.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
probably true.
Yep.
But you know what strikes me is the way that you talk to people, the way that you engage people, you're 100% right. Like, no one's going to say, hang on a minute, it's in, like, you just exude love towards people. And I think that's something that we need to learn to do better, especially as believers, that when you come into contact with people, a large part of what they listen to is going to be based on how you approach them. And if you approach them in a manner that is threatening or where you're talking down to them, they're not going to hear anything you say. But you are a classic example of somebody. When you speak, I listen. Period. Period. And I think most people probably feel that way.
Miss Loretta, this is just a general question, but based off of your demeanor, this is going to be a question that you can knock out of the park, but like, where does your joy come from? Where,
My joy comes from Jesus.
yeah.
I love him so much. And every day when I read his word or when I study something, Jesus gives me a golden nugget that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I learned this year is that all the bad stuff that's in people's lives are messy.
Yeah.
All the bad stuff, but I love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes a difference.
That's awesome.
Man, I like how you're definitely older than I am, but you said that I learned this year, like which demonstrates a posture of learning, even though you have been
Yeah.
a principal for 14 years and a kids pastor for 9 years. The fact that we never stop learning, and we should never stop growing in our faith and in our knowledge of God. And I think that just speaks to the fact that, yeah, you're right. That's where your joy is. If you focus on the news, or you focus on, even on sports, like sports is not going to get you the joy that you really need and that's sustainable. Like it's got to be
Jesus.
from a relationship with God.
Yeah.
And the reason why I keep asking you to come back is because I think that people know that. When you are greeting someone, they know that there is just something different about you when you've done that,
Yeah.
So I think that that's amazing.
I always equate that to, as you know, I'm a dog lover, and I think dogs can sense that in people when people are genuine and non-threatening. Dogs sense that stuff.
They do.
And I think people are the same way. They can sense when you are open to them and willing to have conversations with them and engage. I think people they love that about you.
Yeah.
What do you hope your legacy is?
Well, I hope that people see me as a Jesus lover, that I love Jesus.
Yeah.
And I hope that people see that I'm genuine.
Yeah.
And that I do love them.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that when you say that about prayer, is that even though people's lives are messy, we need to let them know that our lives are not perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's so
we
true.
need to let them know that
Yeah.
our lives
Yeah.
are not perfect.
Our life is just as messy, but it's Jesus that handles
yes,
the mess.
Yeah.
yes,
You know,
it is.
like
It makes
that's the
difference.
only difference between myself and someone that doesn't know Jesus.
Yes.
Is my life is just as messy, but Jesus helps with the mess and gives me a little bit of
Yes,
peace.
that is
Yeah.
so true.
Yep.
That is so true.
So for someone who has spent so long with, kids and just you probably study kids and know kids better than anybody I know.
You probably do, yeah.
Why do you think Jesus made it such a big deal when he talked about children and protecting children? Why were children so important to his ministry?
I think that Jesus already knew that children were going to be our legacy. That children were going to be the next generation that carries his love on.
Yeah.
And I think that's a reason why he said that so many times in the Bible.
Yeah.
Is because he knew that he needed to bring along the naysayers or whatever,
Yeah.
but he needed to bring along the children.
Yeah.
Because they love with such a
Abandonment.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and such a where they just love you,
Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
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 And that makes such a difference for
Still
them.
true today.
Yep.
Yes.
As it was
Yeah.
2,000 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's weeks where I'll pray. I'll look at Taya, and sometimes honestly I'll think, that maybe she's a little bit immature for her age. But then as soon as I think that, I'm like, you know what? No, I want her to keep that innocence for as long as possible.
Right.
Because it's in that innocence that there's a greater joy. Honestly, you're not worried about the worries of the world or. So yeah, I think that that's too, along with what you said, I think that too is a reason why Jesus put an emphasis on kids is because he knew their innocence. He knew that they needed to be protected. And there is kind of an abandonment to, they have questions about faith and about God, but they're much more likely to just accept things, when they hear them.
Yeah.
Which is so key to the development of their faith, So
One time I was in Kids Rock, and I was with the second graders. I was sitting with them, but the fifth graders were in front of me, and I saw them singing. And I realized, I said, my kids will be that fifth grader someday.
yeah.
There'll
Yeah.
be that college student someday
Yeah.
that worships God.
Yeah. Yeah. And our investment into them
Yes,
right
it
now
does make a
absolutely
difference.
matters.
It does
Yeah,
make a
it is so
difference.
huge.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I'm gonna, as we start to wrap up our time, I'm gonna ask you to put back on the hat of just in the church, right? As children's pastor, are we doing a good job of that as a church right now? Are we taking care of our kids?
I think we are.
Yeah.
We're offering them the sports. That's a way to get them. We're offering them fun times.
Yeah.
We're showing them what worship really looks like. I think we are.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Would you give any advice to the church leaders of today
Uh,
on how to move forward with kids? What's the important
number
takeaway?
one is to love them
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
and laugh with them.
Yeah.
Laugh with them.
Yeah.
That makes such a difference.
Yeah.
But just come alongside of them
Yeah.
Yeah.
and know that you're their cheerleader. And
Yeah.
that makes a difference.
Nobody does that better than you.
No one. Yep. No one for sure. Yeah. Last piece of advice for parents, Miss Loretta, what would you say? Being in education and then in the ministry. If you were to give one piece of advice to a parent that's listening, what would it be?
Is love your children where they're at.
Not where you want them to be.
Yeah, not where you want them to be.
I mean, that just speaks to me, wanting Taya to be a little bit more mature, but then,
Yeah.
snapping out of it and saying, no, like she is right where she needs to be,
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
And
So not in the NFL?
no,
not in the NFL, not in,
MIT.
Yeah. Right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
nope,
Just
that,
where they are.
Yeah, that little girl cares more
Where
about
they-
friendships
Yeah.
than she does soccer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes such a difference.
Yeah.
And the lessons that I could learn from that, honestly.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt. All
for
of
sure.
us.
So,
Thank you so much.
You
Yeah,
bet.
this is
You
good.
bet.
Yeah.
Yep.
I meant it when I say, what's the old commercial? She won't remember this, but E.F. Hutton. Remember the E.F. Hutton?
Yeah,
You
when
know,
E.F. Hutton
speaks, you
listen.
listen.
who
Yeah.
is E.F. Hutton?
You don't need to know.
Who
That's
is
a whole
E.F.
different-
Hutton?
He's a financial advisor.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
No,
I
he's
don't
not
know.
still.
No.
He's
But
dead.
that's how I feel about Miss Loretta when she speaks.
100%. Yeah.
We listen.
Yep,
So
yeah,
thank
for
you
sure.
so
You
much for
bet.
being with
You
us.
bet.
Yep.
Man, what a great person to have on.
Yep. If you guys don't know Miss Loretta and you want to, come visit us on a
Yes.
Sunday morning at Lake
Yes.
Church.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for watching and catching up with us. Your children are important. And just like Miss Loretta said, we want to be sure to love our children where they are at. That speaks to me directly today. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't subscribed or liked us yet or followed us, go ahead and do that. And we'll catch you next week.
Have a good week.
Have a good week.
Man, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed hearing us ramble about youth sports or other strangely interesting sports topics related to families, please go and like and subscribe to the show so that you can get regular updates when a new podcast is released. We'd also love to connect with you. Head on over to our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We're under LC Sports and Recreation.
And if you're new to our podcast, go check out some of our previous episodes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. There's some good stuff on there. And pay attention because these come out pretty quickly, weekly, as a matter of fact. And you're going to learn a lot about what we have to say with regards to our league and how to win with the home team.